my way to the gym, everybody. On my way to get it done, get in that torture chamber, and get after it. I can't help myself. I've habituated working out and weight training for so long. 55 plus years. I cannot not work out. Do you have something that you cannot not do? Maybe it's like brush your teeth, right? You cannot not do it. You've habituated it so much. If you skipped it, it would be so readily, in your face that you're not doing something you normally do. That's how it is with me with weight training. Let's talk about weight training today, since I'm on the way to the gym and I'm going raw and real here like I like to do on YouTube for a couple different reasons. I always say this, I like raw and real, not just for myself, but for you and anybody else who's creating content. Because in this day and age of AI, over-edited, over-polished BS, we have a yearning, a search for realistic shit. Is this real or not? AI is becoming so good, we have to question, hold things up to the light. Is this real or is it not real? If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, thanks for checking in here. I appreciate you. Another reason I go live in the vertical mode is because it shows up in the shorts feed. And so people stumble on my channel by accident, just flipping around. And so they jump in and out of the shorts feed and say, who's this crazy son of a bee? Listen, it's all good content all the time. Always positivity. It's always self-improvement, personal growth. That's what I've been focusing on for the last 35 years. It served me well, and it serves me best when I'm sharing things that I'm learning with other people. Having a positive impact on somebody else, no greater joy. That's why I'm here. If that resonates with you, then subscribe to the channel. Damn it. If not, move along. See you next time. I was watching a video by Ryan Holiday. This guy's a great guy. He studied for, I don't know, probably the last 25 years of his life, Stoicism, philosophy, how to live better, how to live a greater life. And specifically, he studied the 2,000 plus year old philosophy of Stoicism. He's written books based on the greats, Marcus Aurelius, the book Meditations. Here you got an emperor of Rome who's been dealing with a plague that's been killing millions of people in Rome. He's on the front lines of battle, and he's writing these thoughts to himself, and with no idea that they will be publicized or they will be spread out in a publication. He's thinking to himself, which is really the translation for meditations are notes to yourself. And somebody gathered these notes that Marcus Aurelius had written on the front lines of battle, and they created this book called Meditations. So these are thoughts that he never thought were going to be out there publicly, but that things that he were thinking to himself. So it's our insight into somebody that was an emperor who was also studying the Stoics. He frequently quoted Epictetus. Epictetus was a freed slave. And so the teachings of Epictetus were written down by a student, and Marcus Aurelius, an emperor, he is studying those thoughts and those philosophies of life. It's a great book, and Ryan Holiday, this author, has written many books on Stoicism, and it's amazing as I look at the comments on his page, and here this guy is really, of course he's profiting, but that isn't his main intention. His main intention is to study the Stoics, share that philosophy with other people, and if people buy his books, that is out of his control. So he's trying to focus on what is in his control. In his control is writing the books, studying the philosophy, sharing it with other people, and he thinks it has value. He has total control over that. He doesn't have control over if he's a bestseller. That's up to the New York Times. And that goes along exactly with what Stoicism really is about. The philosophy is about focusing what is in our control and not what is out of our control. And that leads to a more fulfilling life. And it's just great stuff. it really has great value. I appreciate it, but it's just funny when I look at the comments. I would say probably 90% of the comments are very positive, and they're pro-Stoicism, they're pro-Ryan Holiday. But then intermixed in there is just, the negative comments and just kind of the personal attacks on Ryan Holiday, and they're devaluating everything that he said. So it really doesn't matter, because I talked about recently about, caring less about other people's judgments or opinions of ourselves, but do what you think is the right thing to do. Do the right thing for the right reason in the right way to serve other people. It's going to have a big effect on you in your own mental health. And so it's not, don't care about other people. Don't care about their judgments and opinions of you. What they say about you is more revealing about who they are as opposed to who you are. And those things are really powerful because it really liberates us to be more open. And that's the bottom line. It's so easy to be closed off, closed in, especially nowadays because of the internet, entertainment that we can get in our own homes, how we can make a living even without putting ourselves out there publicly and being social animals. Stoicism really teaches how we can survive by ourselves, no problem. But really, what sets us apart as human beings is we are social animals. We really thrive in social circles, right? To being out there. And so, if you can care less about the judgments and opinions of other people, then you're more willing to go out there and be vulnerable. And you will have immunity to the attacks of some people. Because in your mind, you already know that says everything about them and not about you. If you can be immune to that, and you really got to train yourself to be immune to it, because you know what? We're all wired to not like social rejection. We're wired that way. We're programmed that way through our ancestors. Why? Because we want to thrive and survive in the tribe. And so we don't want to be rejected by the tribe. And so that's why we're programmed that way. It makes sense, right? We survive in our social group, our tribes, right? If we go back to the ancestors' days, how we're wired, right? Hunter-gatherers. And so we don't want social rejection. We don't want to be cast out on our own into the wild tundra of Africa to be eaten up by the animals. We know we're going to survive in our tribe. I don't know how I got off on that. But anyways, I was just really fascinated to see how someone like Ryan Holiday, who is, he's always putting out positive things, positive attributes to other people, and yet he's still open to the attacks of other people. All right, everybody, I'm getting ready to go into the gym, weight training. I can't say enough about weight training, how important that is, no matter what your age, demographics, when you should start. If you haven't started already, start today. The science shows you could be 70, 80 years old, you can still gain muscle. I can't tell you, I'm so happy that for whatever reasons, I started weight training at age 16. It has really benefited me in all aspects of my life. So if you haven't already, start weight training, get after it today. The benefits are going to be multiple. The benefits from weight training, weight resistance exercises, the benefits are going to be multiple, not just singularly. It's not only going to be physical health, it's going to be mental health, it's going to be social health for sure. All right, everybody, I am relying on my habits of getting into the gym. So thanks for checking in with me here. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video for sure.